Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently commencing peacetime activities. Okay, maybe not commencing. We've been doing this for a while. We are working on converting some of our military factories into civilian factories. And that's necessary because we have too many military factories, honestly. I don't think we need as many as we have. So this is, I think, enough. At least for now. And we'll just continue to let this chip away. We're going to back off on our tank production once we're done with our reinforcement here. And that won't be too much longer, honestly. How long are we expecting that deficit to last? 61 days. That's really not bad. Really not bad at all. We're working away on getting these infrastructure constructions done. And auto-saving, apparently. Excellent. We also have a modern tank brigade here, ready to be sent into this army. There we go. We're building up our manpower, and these two modern tank brigades, they're going to finish up soon enough. So that is absolutely wonderful. We're very pleased about that. Can we do a region-wide industrial integration? We can. I should have, again, checked to see where that is. I get so excited whenever I can press that button that I don't even look, but it's down here. So that's okay, I think. No, that's where we're converting. That's where we're converting. Okay. So, where can we build this at? Not over here, I don't think. You're different. Why are you different? Okay. Not there. Fine. Aha! In Bohemia. There we go. That'll be fine, and we will, of course, top prio that. Excellent. I just get so excited whenever I can click on that button that I just do it, and then I don't look at where it's going to be. And I really do need to look at where it's going to be. Very obnoxious. As in, I'm obnoxious. Okay. So we're going to want to fight Portugal at some point. I think the answer is not now. But perhaps once we get these tank brigades done. I mean, I feel like we're well set up to invade Portugal here. Now, we're only pushing to this line right now. We will push to the sea over here in a secondary push. But for now, that's not what we're going to do. We have good supply and logistics situations over here now. So that's wonderful. We're very happy about that. I do think that we probably want to have all of our infrastructure constructions done before we declare this war. That's probably the case, right? Or at least close to it. I mean, that would take a while yet, but we do have some time. Like, we're not in any sort of a rush. The Argentine Republic did remain democratic. We knew that would be the case. But we're working on their fascism. And that's wonderful. Okay, by 0.01 per day and 0.02 per day. Sounds good. So we are working on that, and we've got quite a ways ahead of us to go. The Allies faction is incredibly strong, and we want to do something about that. There's no doubt about it. There are some regions over here that are not part of it that we can definitely take over. Finland, what do you have for resources? Kind of mediocrity there. Sweden has some good steel. I wouldn't mind invading them, but I believe they're allies. Yes, they are indeed allies. Okay. So that's good to know. I mean, we're just kind of being model citizens right now, right? While planning to invade Portugal very transparently. There's that. Small, minor detail. But we are working on infrastructure, which will, of course, increase our resource flow. We are trading for chromium right now, and in fact, we apparently have 8 more than we need. Let's go ahead and back off on that. That'll free up an additional civilian factory. That's great. We're very happy about that. Very, very happy about that indeed. We do have good amounts of steel coming in from particularly our German holdings. So if we look like over here, there's 106 total here. Infrastructure multiplies that by 2. We aren't quite getting all of it because we don't have the compliance yet. So we are definitely still increasing our resources. There's no doubt about it. So that is very, very good to see. There are multiple locations over here that we're likely interested in invading. I mean, there's some steel available here and here and here. That's all things that we are interested in getting. But, I mean, really the Russian Federation is looking really juicy to us, right? That's mostly what's happening here right now. That, and eventually we're going to have to fight the US. Which is going to be painful. Very painful indeed. Which is why we're preparing for that. So we're going to move another modern tank brigade over here. That'll be great. And the last modern tank brigade will be done in how long? A while yet. 30 May. Okay, couple months. That'll be fine. We are continuing to construct infrastructure. There isn't anywhere we missed with infrastructure, is there? I don't think so. I've been pretty keen on building infrastructure in this particular playthrough. There's good reason for that. Infrastructure is very important. Oh, hello. Our ally here doesn't have full infrastructure. Now, we don't really care necessarily about that because that's our ally, so we're not going to prioritize that. But we'll queue it up. Fantastic. So, we will invade Portugal soon enough. The real question is, what happens if one of these guys that we're trying to invade ends up joining the Allies and pulling the Allies into the war? If that happens, problems will ensue. There's no doubt about that. No doubt whatsoever. However, once we are through our modern tank deficit, we're going to be stockpiling modern tanks at that point, and we'll probably back off on our modern tank construction by at least a third. Which does mean that we're going to have 50 extra military factories that we could theoretically convert over. That's a lot. That said, maybe we'll just move them down below our navy. That'll probably end up being the case, if I'm honest. I think that's what'll end up happening. We'll just simply move them down, along with the infantry equipment, which, in fact, I'm going to move the infantry equipment now. It won't get any steel, and I'm aware of that. But some of this steel should, at this point, yeah, some of this is coming in. We don't actually need convoys at this time. We're going to move this down to the bottom as well. And then the modern tanks, we'll move them soon, but they're not ready to be moved quite yet. The support equipment can be moved, I think. We'd want that to go about there. The advanced anti-air can be moved about there. The advanced artillery can be moved to about there. Okay. So we can see steel coming in to our submarine hulls. Okay. That's fine. We have a decent amount of steel flow at this point. It's just not quite as good as I would hope. We are continuing to construct over here, and that's completely fine. How are we doing on our military factories here? We still need additional military factories utilized. And I think at this point we're just going to toss those in, like, over here. Not that far, actually. Like, to here, and then to here, and then to here. Something like that. That's 273 out of 274. Okay, we'll put an additional military factory into motorized. This is deeply unimportant. And we'll position that at the absolute bottom. Okay. Jet strategic bombers don't actually use any steel, but we have enough of those that I'm going to position that down below the other fighter craft. There we go. So now we have some naval production happening. And fairly soon we're going to back off on our modern tanks. In fact, we could do that now and place them, like, here. Yeah, we'll do that for now. That means that we are putting in steel into our navies again. And that's very good. We do want to work on our navies. Our navy is definitely our weak link, and if we end up fighting the Allies, that's going to probably end up being a big, big problem for us. So that's definitely something to consider, and we need to look at... Yeah, we still need 400 steel here. It's rough. There's no doubt about it. If we were to trade for that steel, we could get, say, 220 from the Russian Federation for 28 civilian factories. I'm not willing to give up those civilian factories at this time. I would rather have the reduced construction speed in our military equipment. So let's go ahead and do a region-wide industrial integration. This is going to be in Cheetah. Okay. Fantastic. I actually looked at it for once, and we know exactly where it goes. Right there. Civilian factory goes in, and that becomes top priority. Excellent. The last civilian factory that we queued up is already good to go. That's great. And we're chipping our way through these last few infrastructure projects nice and quickly. Does Mecklenburg not have any resources? Doesn't. Okay. That's definitely odd that some of these don't have resources, but some of them have very high amounts of resources. Like, for example, this one. That's a lot of steel. There's no doubt about it. The fact that we managed to take basically all of Germany despite not fighting in Europe, as well as a decent chunk of Spain despite not fighting in Europe, is just hilarious to me. I love it. I'm very, very happy about it. There is this Comintern location here. Do they have resources? That's a negative. Okay. So we don't necessarily care about it. Good to know. That is definitely good to know. We are working our way through these infrastructures, and that is all completely fine. We should definitely think about declaring a war soon. I'm going to start justifying on Portugal. Let's just check here. 3.5. Okay. We need one more political power. We'll wait on that. There we go. This would be 7% world tension. It'll last 125 days. So we'll go ahead and do that. That will bump up the world tension a little bit, but we're just going to have to keep an eye on that number and make sure that that number is dropping. So the UK, I mean, they have a negative opinion of us right now. And that's because we need to improve relations with them. We'll have to wait for a few days to do that. They're, of course, the leader of the Allies faction. So that does become quite important. We're going to improve relations with them as soon as we can here in 5 days. And then we're also going to probably want to improve relations with the US. They're at that same baseline minus 20. It's fairly expected, in all honesty. So we're going to need to make sure that we are getting our hands on as many resources as possible. We now need 403 steel. I'm not sure why that number keeps increasing, if I'm honest. I guess just export changes? Yeah, I guess it's just mostly network export changes. I almost said network changes. That would be very odd indeed if it was network changes. So there are these guys over here. And I do want to check to see if Iron Wolf Lithuania has any resources. No. We don't really care about integrating them unless they have resources. Nationalist Spain. They have 2 aluminum. I don't think we care about 2 aluminum. Greater Hungary. What do they have? They do have 30 steel. That said, we can't get anything to them to Lend-Lease. So we would need to, like, send an attaché to them. The future belongs to integralist Brazil. It's true. Portugal may be the language that we speak, or rather, Portuguese may be the language that we speak. But that just means it needs to be part of integralist Brazil. That's all that means. We're going to go ahead and improve relations with the UK. There we go. We're also going to improve relations with the US. Just as soon as this day tick happens, right about now. Excellent. There we go. And we'll be ready to invade Portugal quite soon. We are waiting on this final modern tank brigade here. We're expecting this to be ready in just over a month. That's a little ways out there, in all honesty. How long on our justification? That's going to be over 100 more days. Okay, so that should be plenty of time for that tank division to finish training and make its way to the target location. That's great. And we do want to back off our number of military factories in some of these situations here. That said, look at that. We're now stockpiling modern tanks. We have over 1,000 in stock. We're going to bump this down to be here. Now, yes, we're not producing very many of them, and that's because we don't have the steel. But that'll be fine. We're going to be lacking in a lot of steel. There's no doubt about it. But now we're working on everything else, and that is glorious. We're still at minus 400 steel. How are we doing on our infrastructure construction? All of it is at least almost underway, if not done. As soon as we finish up this civilian factory, everything here will be underway. And that's great. We're very happy about that. Did we queue up anti-air in neighboring zones? Yes, we did. Okay. Just checking on that one. I couldn't remember if we had gotten anti-air or not. What about radar stations? Yeah, we didn't do radar stations. We should probably think about that in some neighboring, or anywhere where we have borders, is what I should say. Anywhere where we have borders, we will go ahead and build radar stations. In Ecuador, Amazonas will have to happen. And this down here. All of these. And this is all low priority stuff. I'm not expecting that this gets finished before we start actually fighting. Coastlines as well? Yeah, I think coastlines as well. So something along the lines of this. We don't need it in here necessarily. So that'll be fine for our holdings over here, except this is coastlines as well, so we'll get that. Okay. Something along the lines of that. And then over here, we'll get all of these queued up. We are questioning Portuguese sovereignty. This is true. Kind of hilarious, but true. Okay, so we're going to continue to grab all of these. No, they're not ready yet. The Russian Federation is very not ready yet. Okay, we'll get all of those queued up. Basically everything over here. In fact, maybe we should just queue up radar in every state. That'd be kind of hilarious. We definitely could do that. And again, we're unlikely to get these finished anytime soon. We can do something like that. And then this over here. Wonderful. I mean, it's not that much more building, right? We can just do that. There we go. And now as far as all of this over here goes, we'll just get all of that set up as well. These are large states over here. So we'll just do all of this. And again, this is very low priority. We don't expect this to get finished anytime soon. That infrastructure is way higher on the priority level. Okay, that should be everything for now. Excellent. We'll hop out of that, and we now see that all of our infrastructure is under construction. That's very, very good indeed. We're very happy about that one. Now, we don't currently have a garrison force down here, and we might want to get one. Regardless, we must ready the people for war. We are indeed angered by Portuguese posturing. Look how neutral they are. Ugh, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I'm going to go ahead and start a recruitment of a single garrison division. There we go. We know that we can support like 4 simultaneous recruitments. I'm only going to do the 1 for right now. Mostly because I want to see how much is going to be required to garrison South Africa over here. I don't think it's going to be all that many. But we don't want to leave any of our regions undefended. Of course, I say that. This region is undefended. We're going to recruit 2 divisions. Fantastic. That'll be absolutely fine. And we could do a region-wide industrial integration if we had the political power. But we don't have the political power. What are we working on for our focus right now? Naval production? We've been on naval production this whole time? I should have changed that a long time ago. We're on construction engineering. This modern tank brigade will hop up here and finish out this army. Fantastic. Not sure why these guys are just kind of chilling here. Should they not be on one of these lines? Let's see, this is Army 8. This is Army 8 right here. They're supposed to be here. Why are they not here? Guys. Come on up here. Why do I have to manually order this? I'm confused. These guys should have been here a long time ago. I'm not sure why they're not coming on over. Like, they're assigned to this order. I'm confused. Maybe it's the game that's confused. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reissue these orders. So we'll delete all orders here. We'll delete these guys' orders. And these guys. And these guys. Next, we're going to issue a frontline order here, followed by an offensive line order all the way to the sea this time. Like that. So that's Army Group 1. Then these guys over here, they're going to get a separate front line here that they get assigned to. Like that. They then have a separate offensive line. that is intended to be, say, something like this. Okay. Then these guys, they get a front line here that they get assigned to. And then they get an offensive line like that. Excellent. Then these guys, they get a front line here. They get an offensive line that is just something like that. Okay. So in theory, this should be Army 7 and Army 2 and Army 8. Did they not get assigned to this? Yeah, I didn't get assigned to this. Okay, there we go. Now they're assigned. Yes, that looks correct. And this looks correct. Are these guys on their way over? Yes, but this is the order I issued. These guys are already in their correct position. Okay. Well, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we'll see if Army 8 figures out what it is they're supposed to be doing. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.